Hey y'all, it's Jamie Dean coming from my mama's kitchen. Got a good recipe for your football Saturdays. Football Saturdays, it's fall. Today, we're gonna make mom very happy. We're using some of her favorite things. We got fresh shrimp, we're using dill, we're using bread, and we're using the air fryer. This is a really simple recipe, y'all. I think it calls for 6 shrimp. My son Jack is here today, so I'm gonna do 12. And so just adjust the oil and your Cajun seasoning if you're having more than one person. You know what I mean? So if you've got company, you just keep adding a little bit more of this. All we're essentially gonna do is make sure that this shrimp, which I have peeled and deveined, gets coated in the oil and the Cajun seasoning. Now this recipe calls for a grill, but we're here in mom's kitchen today, so I'm gonna saute them on the stove, and this won't take but 2 seconds. I'm gonna try to work quick. I got my shrimp going in, and I'm gonna slice the bread for our sandwiches, because this bread and those shrimp should take about the same amount of time. I'm gonna slice these 3/4 of the way through, pop them in the air fryer, get that started, and let's turn our shrimp. Now you've heard me tell you a million times, if you overcook your shrimp, it's gonna be like eating the eraser off the end of a pencil. So this is gonna take about 2 minutes. Just when you think, oh, that's not cooked yet, that's when it's done. Because it's gonna come out of this pan hot, and it's gonna continue to cook for another couple of minutes, so not very long on our shrimp at all. Now on our po' boy sandwiches, you can do lots of different things. On this recipe, it includes avocado. Avocado is a great condiment for any sandwich that you have. It's a really good substitute for mayonnaise. It's creamy, it's got the good fat in it for you. If you put avocado on a plain turkey sandwich, you're really making something that's better than a turkey sandwich. You see how fast these are turning pink? These are some beautiful, fresh local shrimp. You don't have to come around here, Teresa. I'll bring it to you when it's done. And what makes this a little bit different, we're using the Cajun seasoning, which is really nothing unusual, but we're gonna do a mayonnaise today for our sandwich that we're gonna use a couple of different things. We got lime. We're gonna go lime, mayonnaise, and we're also using a chili sauce, which is one of my favorite flavors. So if you ever get tired of having sandwiches all the time, it is so easy to gussy up and change a mayonnaise to whatever flavors that you like. Some fresh dill, a little lime, and Thai chili sauce is really gonna pump up the mayonnaise that we put on our po' boys today. I'm gonna use a bib lettuce. I love bib lettuce on my sandwiches. It fits perfect on there, and it's so delicious, and it's just delicate. I like iceberg lettuce too. You see that too? And I'm gonna go one more second on this.
Now, Jamie, this is actually a recipe we serve in the restaurant.
Yeah, I believe this is the po' boy recipe that we serve at the Creek House here in Savannah. So you can have a little taste of Savannah in your kitchen. Look how simple this is. It only takes a few minutes. And instead of having turkey or ham, do something a little bit different. And let's make shrimp po' boys for the family for lunch. Plus it's Saturday and the dogs are playing. And when the dogs are playing on Saturday, I really don't care what I eat. I just care about watching the dogs on Saturday. I'm getting dangerously close on the shrimp here. I preheated my pan, so it's doing really, really good. Let's check on our bread. Boy, this air fryer doesn't take but about 2 seconds. Let me grab a plate. Okay, I'm gonna turn our shrimp off. I'm going to take it off the stove. So here's our shrimps. Our bread is already so hot I can't hardly touch it. Now we're going to make our mayonnaise, okay? How much mayonnaise is this, T?
I want to say it's
1/4 cup.
not much.
1/4 cup of mayonnaise. So my mom would say this will be enough mayonnaise for her sandwich. What are y'all gonna eat? Okay, so we've got our 1/4 cup of mayonnaise here, and we're gonna add as much or as little dill as you like. I'm gonna put in, I'm gonna call this about a tablespoon of dill. And we need the juice from 1 lime. This is some bright flavors that's going into here. It's gonna taste just like New Orleans. You'll hear the jazz. You hear the drum line when you bite into this sandwich. So we've got the juice, and then I'm gonna add a little bit of zest because that is where all the real lime flavor comes from. Or your orange or lemons. Get you a good little microplane for your house so you can always get down on your zest. It is so delicious. And now we're gonna add a teaspoon, check this out. It's a teaspoon of sweet Thai chili sauce. And I'm just gonna stir it with the teaspoon measure. How about that? Depending on how much juice your lime yields, you may want to add a little bit more mayonnaise if this gets too loose on you. But it looks like we have perfect amount right there. So we've got our bread that we've toasted. I'm gonna split this open. You want mayonnaise on your sandwich, son?
Yes, sir.
So Jack said yes, sir. So we're gonna, I tell you, this teaspoon deal worked out pretty good as a mixer, but it is not the best spreader that I've ever used in my life. Lettuce and tomato, Bubba?
Yes, sir.
Now what I like to do, y'all, when I'm doing the tray for burgers or sandwiches or whatever we might be having, and I slice my tomatoes, I like to salt and pepper them while they're sitting there so it gives them a few minutes to kind of soak it up a little bit. And we're just gonna lay our beautiful lettuce right down the row. Isn't that nice looking?
That is gorgeous. Look at the colors.
Sandwiches is one of my favorite things to fix and one of my favorite things to eat. When my wife makes meatloaf, I eat meatloaf for dinner and then I have meatloaf sandwiches for dessert.
Brooke makes a great meatloaf.
Fantastic meatloaf. That recipe is actually in a couple of cookbooks that we have.
And we actually have made it as one of our YouTube videos.
So we've got a dozen shrimp here, so we're gonna do 6 apiece. Po' boy is a sloppy sandwich. So don't wear your Sunday dress when you sit down to eat this. You're gonna need a few napkins, a few cans of beer, and a little bit of Zydeco on the radio.
Don't forget the avocado.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I already forgot the avocado. Avocado, Jack?
Yes, sir.
I'll show you a neat trick with avocado. You know what I wish to have was some butcher paper? If you're making big sloppy sandwiches, it's always fun to wrap a piece of butcher paper around it and wrap it up like the old gas stations used to serve it with wax paper and hold your sandwiches together. So if I'm doing avocado for sandwiches, this is what I like to do. I go ahead and I cut it in slices while it's in here. And you know it turns brown, so I'm gonna put a little bit of lime juice on here to keep it from turning brown. And then once you got here, pop it out. Easy peasy. This is gonna make such a mess when we eat it. So if y'all are serving an open face sandwich or you want it to look pretty, you can take a spoon and work it out of there instead of turning it inside out. But neither Jack nor myself is gonna complain because look at this sandwich. Golly. I'm gonna save y'all from watching me eat this sandwich because my mom will tell you I got a big mouth and I take big bites and it's not gonna be pretty. but it's sure gonna be good. This is a shrimp po' boy, y'all. And if you come to the Creek House in Savannah, Georgia, you get you a little oyster shooter as a back with it. Thanks for tuning in today, y'all. Go Dogs. I'll see you around the kitchen. Let's eat, son.
Hey y'all, it's Paula Deen. Now, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like it and click the subscribe button as well as the notification bell to be alerted when I post a video. Love and best dishes, y'all.